Morning, Europe. A lot happened last night. The U.S. Senate passed a fiscal budget for next year, which cleared the way for possible passage of tax reform. Seems a bit early to get too excited about this, as we're still about 3 or 4 steps away from any kind of tax legislation passing, but nonetheless, bonds much lower, US dollar much higher. Take a look at this dollar yen here, up 68 pips and printed a high of 113.32, 113.31. The range high from this consolidation period is 113.44. Got to keep an eye on that. Price is up and above 44 and probably 50, where you'll see some resting offers. Will be incredibly constructive. This is all kind of ironic, going into a weekend where we're seeing Japanese elections, and we could possibly see some political upheaval, although the press says there is going to be none. But anyway, the dollar's bid. Let's take a look at the dollar Swiss. Back through the 200-day moving average. Printed a high of 48. Had a hard time holding up there, so now we're 35 points lower. This is a key area here in dollar Swiss. Key area 94.35, where these double tops. A daily close above this really opens things up to a move above parity. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. Although it has to be said, this is the third time dollar Swiss has tried it up here. Hasn't liked it so far. But we'll let price decide. Equities, very vicious move down yesterday, 25.43. I do have to say I thought this was going to be the beginning of a bear move. I think, like many, I was wrong. We printed a pretty long-tailed, practically a doji, and now today, with this budget news, we've moved higher. Still a bit skeptical of the top side, which probably means we still have some more top side to go, but certainly that is a very bullish configuration. Yesterday's bar followed by today's bar. Although I have a funny feeling we're going to doji today, and we're going to close back at 25.60, and this big down move and this sort of pretty big up move is just going to be nullified. But we'll see. Again, we don't touch this here. If you're long and you survived yesterday, great. Bears take control below 25.40. Otherwise, it's a no trade for me. On a purely technical level, I like this sterling yen. If you look at it on the 4-hourly or even on the 1-hourly, it's a nice little trend line that goes back a couple weeks. Kind of defines this consolidation period, and could also be backed by negative stories from the UK. So this is an interesting technical play. Trend line comes in 148.03. What else is there out there? Dollar ZAR is the biggest mover. We'll just put this up. It's up close to 1%. We've cleared this 1360 area, but because we're still 15 minutes before London gets in, we're not going to take this too seriously. We'll have to see what London does with this. You would probably expect a move back down to 13.58, 55, and then it becomes more important if London makes a new high, which will be through 61.02 or 61.5. On the calendar today, we have some UK numbers, and we have, more importantly, we have Canadian CPI. Unfortunately, the dollar CAD chart is in the middle of nowhere, so we don't have a lot to work on with this. We go to our CAD yen chart, which is sometimes better to trade at CPI, but again, we find ourselves kind of in the middle of nowhere. So there will be vol with CAD CPI. Just be ready for it. But first things first, looks like we're going to see Europe follow through on Asia's buying of dollars, at least at the open here. We'll see if it gets legs. I'm not so sure, but that should be our first move of the day. Good luck. Talk to you soon. Ciao.